Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah,
We can hear you.
yeah, good afternoon, sir. Yeah. Sorry for
Hello, good afternoon, Ambrose.
Yeah, we can hear you.
yeah. I don't know what happened with my internet and the Zoom was a bit delayed here. Okay, let somebody quick and pray for us.
Good afternoon, Ambrose.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Let somebody pray for us. Yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, before we start, please let's mute ourselves. I try to mute you from here, yes, but I can hear some noise in the background. I'm begging everybody in the class, please let's mute ourselves. And if you want to talk, unmute yourself and contribute, please, please. I'm begging. Yes, as usual, we want to look at the market, how it performed last week. No, the market was a mixed one last week, but still it closed positive and higher. Tells that something is working for our market as we speak at this period. Another thing is that last week we discussed about how to trade earnings. But this week I'm looking at how to know market changes. When trend in the market change, for you to know whether you should exit or you should hold position. The things to guide you to see whether you should hold your position or you should go out of the market. It's very important. I've told you how to trade earnings last week, but this today we're looking at in any market phase, in any market situation, how to identify a bullish sign and also a bearish sign. To identify them using some factors technically and some fundamental issues that you also use to identify when to really leave your position, whether the market is on a bearish trend or a bullish trend. You should know exactly what should guide you, because most of us in the market, we only just happy when the stock is rallying. We don't know what is behind the stock rallying. We don't know where to exit because we just buy because others are buying. All those things we want to tell you how to know exactly when to go out of the market or when to start positioning in the market. Once you know all this, it's going to go a long way also to impact your investment decision and also the bottom line of your portfolio, because you are not panicking as others are panicking. You are taking investment decision, because I believe in equity investment and technical analysis that trend is your friend. If that trend is your friend, you must identify that trend on time and take it. Once you do that, you'll be able to follow the market, bumper to bumper. And when also there's a sign for you to exit your position, you don't need to consult anybody. You know what to do at the right time. That's why I want to share this 4 points before we go into question and answer as we review the market. Yes, the market on a weekly and a daily charts, because we're not talking about monthly chart now, but we're just starting the month of February. They are looking sweet and positive for me, and it's a good start for the month of February. And I'll tell you, in the history of Nigeria, for the past 5 years, this is the first time the month of January we're having also a straight 8 weeks of what, or 6 weeks of uptrend in the month of January that entered February. Go and check our past market, which are going to use some stocks to look at it. If you look at the history of the market, February has not been a good market, which I've said earlier. And because that is whether one policy will come or one decision will come, February has closed negative for the past 5 years. But we've also seen that a straight market rally for almost 8 weeks in the or 7 weeks, into February. It's a good thing. And also there's a change in submission of results, which the NSE and SEC has made clearer to guide the quoted companies. But they also play their own role in shaping the market as we speak. Also, the outcome of FPC meeting last time also is that power shaping the market. But the numbers that are coming from these companies are very, very impressive. Most of them beat a lot of imagination from analysts and market players. What we saw when they raise their number, it tells you that the market is taking another dimension, another word, dynamics. But the first thing to look at is that when you want to signal whether it's a bearish sign or a bullish sign, identifying it is very important. The first thing you need to look at is there a change in trend or market characteristics, and they have to do with fundamental, have to do with a technical analysis. You need to know on a daily chart, on a weekly chart, are there anything? But knowing that the daily chart gives you the quickest information. That is why in most people that trade online, that trade live market, 1 hour to 45 minutes chart, test what's going to happen in the market on that stock, you take decision. So it is that we are using them daily and in the end of the day, price to analyze. You need to wait to see what happened in that day. That will give you the right information to know what to do for the week, because a daily chart time frame gives you a quicker information, while the weekly provides and give you a lot of activities to analyze. But daily will give you whether there's a trend change or not. That's why as a trader or investor, you need to know whether there's a change in trend or market characteristics. That's why you have to do with the daily time frame to know exactly whether the trend is changing or not. And that is why we need to understand technical analysis. I always say it on this program that you must not to combine the two, fundamental and technical, because they will also influence your investment decision at any time. Once you understand it, it will go also a long way to assist you. And when you know this trend, that is market trend change. For example, now, if you look at this weekly chart that I just displayed now, you can see that the week under review, there's a big candlestick there. Says that the trend is strong. But if you go to a daily chart, let me quickly go there. You can see that it was almost a flat, at the top there. But the market closed down marginally yesterday, losing 0.13 or 11. But you can see that, but still, the market is maintaining an uptrend. And after the market is trading above just 7 days moving average, not talking about 20, 50, or 200. That means the market is still strong, very, very strong in terms of technical signals. That is why, since the market is strong, and there are some fundamental reasons or news that are backing the market as we speak now. On that note, if you understand that are backing the market, you don't need to also panic, because you know that there are some things following the market as we speak at this point. That is the how to go about the market. That's why I say, let me just bring this daily chart. You look at it and see that if you look at the signal here, the MACD and the histogram, I see that it's still looking up, but you can see that the MACD is still above what the signal line says, that our market is still strong. Nothing to panic about this for the weekly chart. But the good thing I want to discuss here is how to use all these things technically and fundamentally. As I said earlier, that the first thing you identify to know the phase of the market, whether it's on the accumulation phase, markup phase, decline stage, or even distribution stage. There are things that you should know whether this is a bearish sign or a bullish sign. And I said one is change in trend. You need to know change in trend that particular day. What happened? Is it that there are more buyers or losers? Or is it that there are more sentiment or negative sentiment, positive? You need to understand what has happened in the market for that day. That is the first thing that you look at, because you are in the market. You need to understand what is happening per minutes or per hour. That is for those that are using lifestyle. But for us that are using end of the day, you need to know what happened at the end of that day. That will inform your decision the next day, whether you exit your position or you should go, or there are things that are still going to hold them to continue the uptrend. Like when the market touch cross the 47 for the first time and touch around 11 something and pull back again. Many people were panicking that market correction has come. Yes, it's correction or pullback or profit taking. But you know that because of the system we are, market cannot just easily pull back. But this up and downs give market strength, or what we call power to go up in that trend. And that is why your ADS is very important. ADS, as we speak now, for even on a daily chart, is almost more than 60. And if you go and check it anywhere in the world, when you see your ADS around above even 30, the market is strong. For us to see our own above 60 on a daily chart, says that the market is still very, very strong, that nobody should just panic of anything, because ADS tell you the strength behind what the uptrend, the strength that is behind that. That means the trend, what we are seeing on our trend, is very, very strong, and that should not give us any point. That is the number one. Number two, again, I need to know what we call positioning sentiment, and this has to do with buying and selling, or demand and supply, because you need to know what is happening. Is there demand for stock? And why? Example, that go and check how the market closed the week under review. There's almost 53% increase in volume, and you can check this volume. This volume shows that gradually we are seeing institutional investor or smart money coming back to the market. That's why we are seeing that the week under review, the market is always above average traded volume. And at the end of the day, it closed about 1.78 billion against 1.45 billion the previous week. This increase the volume that activity is increasing gradually in the market. And most of also gained the week under review. About 42 stocks were up, where about 35 was down for the week under review. See, there's improvement on week by week on the market. That's that because we are coming closer to the earnings season. That's why we are explaining. And I said it earlier that earnings season is no more of direction. It's not of volatility. People respond to result that is good and one that is bad. You see, you make money. You can see what happened to Presco and result. A rally call before profit taking, and there's some news in the industry pull it back. That will not send you panic, because we have seen the number of stocks like Presco that even swallow that of Okumu that's selling above the stock, say that this earnings season has a way of playing on the stock. That's why I say it's not of what direction, but volatility. And that volatility is what you and I are interested, because when you buy low, you sell high. And that is how to trade in any market of the world. And when I talk of this positioning and sentiment, it has to do with also this and volume. Very, very important. Because I will tell you here that if you're in this class, any stock you are entering that is trading less than 20 Bs, and the volume is no more than, it's less than 500, you have to be very careful. That means that kind of stock is not where it should be, because if you're a trader want to go in and come out, you might not see who will buy it. That means you need to go to a stock that had good volume, and that is where you see institutional investor, what we call the institutional investor, or call it smart money. Sorry, smart money. They play those stocks that have volume. They don't play stocks that have no volume, or so that they are the one entering, that don't put the price up when they want to sell. No, they look for stock that has volume, where they can enter. The volume will still be all, and they move the price gradually up. And that is where you see, when you see a volume on a stock, it's to draw your attention. And remember in this class that when you see a volume breaking out at a strong support resistance level, up, it's a good one. But when you see a volume breaking also down support level at a good volume, you have to be careful. You have to wait to see, let it come to a place that it finds its balance at that support level before you can buy. Because this volume at a time tells you, kind of story, give you an insight that something is happening. And that is why when you see a big volume in a stock, try and reason what is behind this volume. That is why in this point 2, I said, positioning and sentiment, that they have to do with what? Demand and supply, normal buy and selling, and also this and volume. This is very critical. You need to know all this so that you will not just be in the market for just being safe. You need to know what is guiding your decision and where you are going with the market. That's why it's very, very clear. I said it earlier that the smart money, when you see that in the market with volume, something is happening. For any stock you are trading that has less than 20 Ds and volume is below 500, be very careful in that position. Be very careful in that position. The third one is policy or regulatory work. Policy is very, very important. Policy either government policy, regulator policy, or even the MPC has a way of what? A way of influencing decision. When it comes to equity investment. That means you as investor, you need to also know what is happening where you are. That's why you need to also take time and look at all these things we are just sharing. You need to understand policy. What is the policy on ground? For example, now, what we are saying in the market is a result of what? The outcome of what MPC meeting, and also as a result of on the 19th of January, SEC sent an invitation to NSE, which NSE also shared on 21st about companies choosing which of the filing system they want to follow. Are you the one that want to follow that at the end of every quarter, especially the fourth quarter, you release your result within 30 days, or you not release unaudited and release your full year within 60 days, and then after you are released unaudited, you have 90 days to release unaudited. This is a choice that SEC has made to NSE. This is not complicated to audited companies. Let's say many of them are coming out with a response to that we are going to release within 60 days. That tells you that the amount of people have entered are going to see more of corporate companies that come with corporate action. Why? Because most of them that do not release within that 30 days of the data, they don't want to pay fine. Going there. That means if they pay fine, NSE for you and I should be smiling, because now that NSE is a listed company, at the present fine, it's going to impact on their bottom line. That means most of these companies that are listed will not want to default by just putting that result is released between now and on the 1st of March. That means as from next week, there's still more people, because most of the big banking stock have not released unaudited. They that they fall into this category of the choice that SEC and NSE are made them to choose. Many of them have said that they will release result they are audited within 60 days. So I see that 30 days have expired. That is the month of January. They have between now and the first day of March to release their audited account. If it comes to the market, it's going to change the face of the market for you and I. That to add more kind of volumes of transaction, more sentiment, especially when it comes to dividend. Don't forget that in this part of the world, we don't play with dividend, dividend income. And when it comes for you and I, when they release that dividend news will help you. You might not be that stock for dividend. Once that dividend, we expect that that dividend news will also have impact on the stock. For that, you need to really take position now that we are expecting those companies to come with their corporate action, because that will be another force. What we saw in the month of January was a result of positive earnings, which beat market expectation, I will tell you, and that sustained that momentum in the month of January, plus the additional rallies we saw in big cap stock. But the major thing that there were positive earnings that to support the market. That's why you saw that in the month of January, there was an uptrend, which has extended to the month of February, as we're seeing now. And I tell you, as from next week, we will experience the same mistrend we saw this week that are under review. Then that week, because they are coming with a corporate action, we expect market to react better. Because those that are dividend income investors, they are waiting to see the dividend announcement before they jump in. But for you and I trader that are positioned before the result, as they are jumping in, that you admit your target to sell. But those people have another goal, because that is why the market is always interesting at all times, because this set of players in the market, investors and traders, even institutional investors, they are not able to enter today and sell tomorrow. Anywhere institutional investor entering, they have target, they have to see. That is why you see market will find a bit, see trying to stabilize because of these two categories of players in the market, the traders and investors in the market. But when you see more traders in the market kind of oscillate, vaccinate faster, and that also creates an ability for you to make to invite low and sell high. If you have all this at the back of your mind, that's how to use this second point we are sharing. The next one there is the policy and the regulators. These are the then the last one is called the corporate earnings. This corporate earnings influence market either on the short run or on the long run. Why? Because price of equity feed on what? On earnings. And I tell you that you can't overemphasize earnings in any market, whether on a bearish or on a bullish market. Earnings have strength of what? Impacting positively on a stock. And that also tells you that in a market where you see a positive earnings, market will react to it. That's what we saw, as I said earlier. Well, there's three major things that influence equity price. I will tell you that market fundamental, which is very important, liquidity and other economic news have 50% influence on equity. Liquidity in the market and other fundamental news in the economy has 50% on equity. Why the sectorial news or sectorial policy, like for example, now if there's any policy the CBN will make, the way it's going to affect the banking sector and they're going to take it up or put it down will also be because it's for sector, it will affect that sector alone. If every bank will be affected because it's for that sector. So it's like if there's a positive also positive policy going to influence all those sectors. That's why market liquidity and other economic news has 50% influence what prices. Why the sectorial news has 50%. The company earnings that we are looking at, which just come to the market, has just only 20%. But that 20% is sweet because if you are getting 20% on every quarter, the result comes to the market. That's what you are trading. You are making money alone because I'll tell you whether there is a bear market in the market, earnings has influence on price. It might not be so big. You make 15%, 20%, but not market in your mind that earnings is most consistent factor that influence price at any market in the world because it comes regularly after 3 months. Trade earnings in the last week so that we are trading. It will help us a long way to make good decision as investors or traders in the market. Don't just look away from the market as a trader or investor. Put your eye there. You need to know whether there's a change in trend. You need to know whether there's positioning, what is the volume and value in the market. You know whether there's policy change from regulators, either from MPC, from SEC, from NGX. Not to know whether there's policy change. Is it for federal government? Are they changing their policy? These are the things that will guide you to know how this also influence the position you are. Then I said lastly, the first one is the corporate earnings or corporate action. These are very tools that you should know how to use them. Change in trends, in trend, that is number one for market characteristics. 2 is positioning or sentiment. You can take it as demand and supply. These are volume. These have to do with what is happening in the market, life on the market. Policy change, either from regulators, from government, from either CBN or whoever that is making the change in the policy. Then the last one, what I said, is corporate earnings. If you have this 4 at your fingertip, it will guide you what to do at any time in the market. So that when others are panicking, there are things that you're going to look at. Has this been changed? Has changed in the market? What is the volume of this stock? What is the volume of the market generally? Looking at the all share index action, looking at price action for individual companies. You need to know what is happening on a daily chart, on a weekly chart, or even a monthly to know exactly what is happening. And that's why we are moving forward to start having our live chat discussion from next week Monday on the market. Once it's 12 to 12:30, we'll be on like we were doing Zoom now. We'll be doing live to look at the live chart of this market, of these stocks and the general market, what we should expect and where we should go from that particular point. This is what we're doing from next week by God grace, so that you get the free direction for the market live that the market is going on, so that it will guide you to know whether you should hold on this position or you should sell off on this position. Once you're able to get this correctly, I'm telling you, going forward, the stock market becomes an easy place for you to make money. Yes, there is room for losses here and there, but when your gains are more than your losing side, you are better off. That means don't panic, or invest wisely with knowledge. Most of us in the market are investing with just ESA without doing our own due diligence. Now, no, the time is now for you to start investing with knowledge, and that's why we are gathering here every Saturday to share what we know, so that you can add to your own and also become a better informed, investor that will take advantage of the market at any time. So not the market taking advantage of you, you taking advantage of the market by investing wisely. And it's not that you must be in the market every time. Most of us, I want to trade every day. That is what you think about. But if you have plan that you have information, enter the market, when you make profit, hold your profit and what? That is how to trade the market, not doing the market always. No. Let's have information that will take us to the market. You have done your own due diligence. I said that trend is your friend. See a trend before it starts. Enter that trend. When it starts going up, you rally with that trend to a point. Don't be carried that the trend is up. Let it go from day one. When you touch your target, you sell off and what? And move to another stock. Don't be greedy. Most of us that in the market are greedy. They will tell you, come back and complain that I was waiting. What are you waiting for? When you are meeting your target, because you don't have target, that's why you are going up and down. But I believe that what we are sharing here to go a long way to guide every one of us on how to invest wisely in the market. Once we've done that, I'm telling you, the market will deliver for us at all times. Yes, put it in mind that nobody tells you that you don't lose money or lost money in equity market, but your winning side must be better than higher than your losing side. Your gaining side must be higher than your losing side. That is the strategy. And once you lost in a position, you learn from that position. When you attain that time, you don't make such mistake. When you gain in one position, you learn how you make that gain. And that's why you build your trading world strategy for that work for you. The one that work for me might not work for you, but from your winning position and your risk position, you build your strategy gradually. Before you know it, it's hard to invest. Before they start consulting you to start training for them, because you have the principle and a strategy that you are following. Most of the technical tools we use today to analyze. Somebody is also to trade years past, when the exam is there. And we're using it today because it worked for the person and the person put it into place. And today, people are following that kind of trend following pattern, MACD, also. It was a strategy that somebody used. And today, that is why you and I, also once we make success in our trading, document what you are using to make success so that it becomes a pattern. If you are making failing your project, document why you fail, so that next time you can say, this is why I fail, this is why I pass. That is how to invest. Thank you, and God bless you. Any question? If you want to add to the market review, you are free to add before we start taking questions. If you want to add to the point that was given, you are very free to add. Don't mind now. Hello, house. Hello. Okay, if there's no question, I want to quickly bring out the chart of United Security, which is a UCAP. I want to review a pattern that stock have shown us for years, and I've taken time to analyze that stock. I feel like it's a stock that you can make money, and also when you know when to take profit and come back, it's also better for you. I want to call that a chart of UCAP up now, so that we can look at it together, the family, so that we can take action. If you are that stock, what to do now, or whether to wait or to take the dividend. If you're a dividend income investor, you have another strategy. If you're a trader like me, you have another strategy. That's why I want to call out the UCAP charts now, so that we can look at it together and see where we are from there. But it's very important before we start asking questions. I want us to share that chart now, so that we can start from there. But it's very, very important that because I see UCAP, the way it's going, many will wonder what is happening in the stock. Nothing is happening in the stock. The stock is doing what's supposed to do. Yeah. I will see the chat here. Hello, are you seeing the chat?
Yes, I've seen the chat.
Yes, I've seen the chat now.
Okay. This for UCAP, and this is the daily chart of UCAP. You can see the pattern here that the stock was in this range for a period, or call it like trending, after it has formed call handle. I think the handle was too long. He stayed with it for a long time to break out for the handle. Saw this rally. Also, at this point that UCAP on the daily chart is really looking good for me. You can see that it resisted the decline to close positive for the week under review at 11 naira 20 kobo. Why the highest peak for UCAP is around 11 naira 30 kobo. Was at yesterday the stock closed 11 naira 3. For me, it's a good one for investor in the market. But this is a daily chart. But I want to take us to what a weekly and monthly chart to look at the pattern of UCAP. It's a very good pattern that we should understand. You see on a daily chart, UCAP here is almost crossing from a bearish trend. You can see that the histogram of this MACD is on the lower side. Now it's trying to cross to the positive side. And look at what is forming at this red and the blue candle line you are seeing here. This on a daily chart. But let's see what is happening on a weekly chart on UCAP. You see that the trend remained uptrend for a long time. Went from 2020, you can see this is an uptrend. Go back from markdown, can see, but still continue uptrend. And this is a pattern that is good. Also look at it MACD on a weekly chart. You can see that it has changed, but still bullish here now. Very bullish at this point. You can see that it is still above the stagnant line. But this is for monthly. But what will make you clearer now? I want to take you to a monthly chart. That the month of March in the life of UCAP has not been favorable for UCAP. I will tell you. Go and check UCAP from listed in 2013. That was around January or February 2013. The month of March has not been favorable. That March has always been a pullback for UCAP. It tells you that if UCAP release the result now as you're expecting, what's your next action? If you're a trader, this is time for you to take profit. If you are an investor, I will take my dividend and wait for you to pull back. I know that when you pull back, I can increase my position there. Then when it rallies up again, I'll start making more money again. It's your decision after this class today. But I want to take you to the monthly chart, and also you go along line with me to see what I've observed in the UCAP chart, so that it will go a long way to guide every one of us. This is the monthly chart for UCAP. And February, the month will start from 2013 that UCAP was listed. This is the month of February. Are you seeing my cursor here? Hello? Hello, house?
Yes, we are seeing.
Yeah,
yes,
we are.
This is the month of February 2013 that the stock was listed in January. You see that it was up. But the month of March in that same year, there was a pullback for UCAP. What does that tell you? This is a pattern that I have not started. Just see the first one. And go back to 2014 again. This 2014, you see that in the month of February, you saw UCAP. Yes, other month, I'm going to the one February we are now. February for UCAP was positive here. You can see it here. Are you there with me? Then in March, you see that was a pullback. You see the black candlestick here. Say that there was a pullback for the month of March. That is for UCAP for you. But in 2015, come here, you see February, UCAP was flat. But it tried to rally in the month of March, but it still came down to close flat. You see, it moved up in March, but when it was March, like I said, it came down down flat again in that same month of March. Almost the same position with what they had in February, that's in 2015. Then we move to 2016 again. I'm doing monthly chart so that it becomes clearer for us. You see, it closed positive for February. In the month of March, it still rallied to touch as high as what? As high as 2 naira 40 kobo and came down to close at 1 naira 41 kobo that same month. You see, almost the same pattern with what we saw in 2015. But go to 2017, you can see that in the month of February, see UCAP. In the month of February, UCAP, it rallied up. It came almost close flat, but in March, he gave up. He lost all he had gained, even the one he did not go, almost losing everything he had gained for almost the past 2 months. See the trend that means March for UCAP. You should notice that it's not a period for you to say you are holding UCAP if you're a trader. But if you're an investor, take your dividend. When they mark that, you can start buying back to accumulate more. But for trader, once you make money in the month of February for UCAP, one result from you don't need to hold your position in UCAP, depending on your investment objective. For traders, that's why I'm showing you this pattern, on a monthly for UCAP. You can also come here and see UCAP for 2018. Yes, you see, it was up in January, came down, but in the month of March, you can see that it was down seriously in the month of March. That was the mark down at the same time. You can see what happened here again for 2018. But for 2019, you see that UCAP here in February, February, it was up. Then it hit up another route high again. So it closed as high as 3 naira 67. But thought as I then closed lower again. But in the month of March, UCAP gave up seriously. Then you now go to 2020, become clearer. See 2020 for February, UCAP was very, very up. You can see that thing was up as high as what? As high as, let me just tell you the figure here now. As high as almost 3 naira 80 kobo, but then before it came down seriously. But in the year 2021, is last year, see where UCAP has rallied as high as getting to 6 naira 57 kobo. But in March, it came as well as what? 4 naira 50 kobo after the markdown. But then it started keeping the consider. Since then, it is up now. We are now in February again. Consider in February, we start seeing UCAP trying to make an uptrend. What does it tell you? What does it give you sign? It says that in the month of March, there will mark down for UCAP. If you're a trader, if you have entered earlier, so those that attended the master class, invest 2022, now if you're in that kind of stuff, once the result comes, if you're a trader, what you do, you take your profit. Then when you pull back again, you cannot come back after the markdown in March. That is how to do. But if you're an investor, like I said, that the market has two class of people that are trading, investor and trader, that you want to take your dividend in UCAP. Good, take your dividend. When you mark down again, you can also increase your stake with your dividend you have gotten to buy more. That will take you up again, depending on your investment objective and your strategy and the kind of person you are. Because if you're a pensioner, you are sure of getting more dividend next year. If you use your dividend, if you take your dividend and the price comes down, you buy more, you can get more dividend the next year because you have increased your position. But if you want to take your dividend and also wait that when it come again, you take your dividend, it depends on your investment objective. For me, UCAP have given us a pattern that we should watch, that different stocks in the market are different. But that's why I tell you that every stock has its own characteristics, the way of its own way of playing out in the market. That's why what is playing out in UCAP will not play out in transport. What is playing out in a Vitaphone will not play out. They have different characteristics, but they are different components in different industry. But as a technician, you will see a pattern that will guide you what to do for each stock at each time or at any moment in any time. That's why you, as an investor or trader, it's just for you to understand the trend in the market. That's why that this market, if you understand how to play it, your mistake will be full. Or just that nobody guarantee you that this market will make 100%. Yes, the market, nobody controls the market. But when you're able to understand how to play the market, yes, your winning side is more than your losing side. Even when you are in equilibrium or in a break-even, you know that because of knowledge you have, you can cross and start making money. Don't say because you lost money last time, you come back to the market. No, people lost money in their cryptocurrency for the past 2 years, but they're still playing it because they understand that it's time for them to make money. For me and you, just understand the market you are playing, understand the dynamics of the market, and invest with confidence. That is how to grow your portfolio. Yeah. Thank you. Any other question? Okay, sorry. There's hand up here. Okay, no hand is up here now. Okay. Go ahead with your question. You're in the house. You need to ask your question. Anybody that want to contribute to what we discussed on the market update and UCAP, you are very free to add to what we have discussed so far. Yeah. Yes, your hand is up. Let me see. Yes, go ahead and ask your question, Mr. Akinwande.
My question is not actually about a question, it's an observation. I think, every time you send us a notice regarding the meeting, I want you to put it underneath and try and let us understand that this is a class. This is not a marketplace where everybody has the liberty to disturb the sanity of the class when it's going on. Because I find that sometimes when you're making your explanations and you're giving on the classes, somebody in the background is making so much noise, whether through the kids or the person's house, and it's not ideal for the class. I will advise us to be quiet or mute our audio device, our mic, and then listen to the class. Then if we want to ask questions or add anything to it, we can do that by raising our hands, because there's a lot of distraction most times when the classes is going on. That's just my observation.
Thank you very much. I like that. Thank you for that observation.
Mr. Ambrose, one of the things that will help is only you cannot do everything, right? So if you give maybe co-host rights to one of your maybe staff who is also here, or anybody who is always available. When you give somebody course, right? When you are delivering, that is not the time for you to start checking who, because sometimes people unmute unknowingly, right? Now, even some, when the noise is occurring at the background, they don't even know. It is the other people who are in class that will know. So, but if you give co-host right to someone else, okay, the person will have the right to mute anybody who is. So that other person can now be saddled with the responsibility of, so person is disturbing, and he will just quickly mute the person. So that would tend to reduce the interference, most especially when you're delivering. So it's something you should also look at.
Okay. Thanks for participation.
Hello, Ms. Ambrose.
Sir.
Yeah, I think the two earlier speakers have actually spoken about the sanity of the class. It is important that a class of this status has that sanity, to make it worthwhile for people who have invested their time, to join this class. Okay, and having said that, I want to implore you to please go through the, in a similar way, the pattern of Zenith Bank, just like you have done for UCAP.
Okay. Thank you. Any other question before I go to Zenith Bank? Because it's good that we know exactly like what you just said now. Before I go to the chart for Zenith Bank, in the history now for the past almost 4 years, it is observed that when Zenith Bank release the result, no matter what they are paying, for that either 2 days or days, the result will come, the price will come down first. Then towards the markdown price and adjustment, you see it coming back up again. That means you, as also a trader investor, you should also know what to do with that pattern. Once we go to the chart now, it also give us more insight to see what I'm just saying. Because whenever they release the result, even though it's good, their dividend is they good their dividend payout. Market, I don't know, market will first treat that stock that day. Either you lose either 5% or 2% before towards the markdown date, the qualification date, before you see going up again. Because Zenith Bank has come to the market so that they are liquid. Look, if you look at their payment date from the day of their announcement of the result or the payment, it's very short. For that, once people react to it, that 2 days down, towards that markdown, see that the price are going up again. It's also guide you as an investor what to do. If you're an investor, you don't need to look at all this pattern. You're there to take your dividend. For we traders, it's very key because if you are making 5% a different, it make a lot of money for you, and that also impact your portfolio. Let's quickly go to Zenith Bank as so that we can also put that one up and look at the chart together for Zenith Bank.
Maybe I can say this, sir.
Can I quickly ask something? Can I quickly ask a question, just to confirmation?
Hello? Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
I'm looking at the chart. Go ahead.
Okay, it's just about the UCAP. You were talking about the trends coming up from 2013 up to 2021, and we've seen that there's usually a markdown in March. And you said for that period, for the period of March, that investors should probably sell and not hold their position at that time. And you said this is more, you're speaking in particular about traders. Are you saying that other investors, retail investors, should hold position then or should also sell?
No, like I said, it depends on your investment objective. If a trader we have entered earlier, I mentioned class of people that have follow us in the master class for the last quarter, even for the first quarter this year, those attended the 2022. They know the position they are. If you have made money, because they are not dividend of 1 naira or 90 kobo, you have made up to 3 naira, you don't need to wait. You take your profit, then when it comes down, those that are entered, even when they're not, they want to take the dividend. You allow them, you have different players in the market, or different goals, or just that guide us in the market. That's why it is what you are looking at. If you tell investor that want to take dividend, it can buy the day and announce the result because it's traded in the dividend. But you and I that is trader in the market, we are not interested in that dividend of 4 naira because we have made 4 naira, 3 naira on the stock. But for you that are buying that day because you are seeing the result, you are interested in that dividend. Even when they mark down, you still go to hold on until they cover again because you know why you are entering. Everybody has reason why they are in the market. Like I say, let your investment objective and your goal guide you whenever you take your investment decision in the market. Hello.
Okay. Hello.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Yes, this Zenith Bank chart. This is the daily chart of Zenith Bank time. You see that for 2 days now, the price has been down before try to recover. Yesterday it closed at 36 naira 30 kobo for yesterday. But this Zenith Bank pattern tells that this stock also is making an uptrend. But the beauty of Zenith Bank that this move is moved kind of say we call it a trendy stock in the technical analysis. Very trendy that you can buy low and sell high. That means if you are following the pattern of this Zenith Bank, you have made money. This is a stock that was here. You go to this level, you sell. You come down here, you buy. When at this level also, you sell. You come down here, you buy. Here you sell. So these are stocks that are kind of oscillate. They are trending in nature that you can trade. That's why I tell you that good stock can I trade. If you know how to do technical analysis, this kind of stock is what you trade on. You can see this is why. So that's why your support and resistance level is very important. And that's why there's a product I'm preparing. We call it a volatility strategy for picking stock. How to trade this volatility in this stock. That's volatility. When it comes, we're also going to guide you. That tells you when to pick a stock and why not to pick a stock. Once you understand it, you pick a stock at when it touches a low, when it touches how you sell. These are how to trade stock. You don't hold stock for a whole year that there's opportunity for you to sell low and buy high again when you are doing this kind of trading when it comes to stock market. You don't trade it because I love Zenith Bank. I love Nestle. You want to hold for a year. There's opportunity that Nestle will come to a lower price. You buy. It touch another high again. You sell off. That volatility is what you are trading. And that's how to make money in the market. But for those that are long-term investors or short-term investors, they are not interested. Or that they are back, they're waiting for the dividend. They can wait. But for you and I that trade, that's why you make loss or you make a gain because it's going in and out. But let your gain be more than your loss. That's what matters. But for those that are investor in a stock, you can wait. Those in Nestle, for example, now they're accumulating more in Nestle. They are waiting to just dividend come. They get more stake in the bank in the company so that they can still continue to control strategic decision in the company. That's why they are there. We have different quantitative wire in the market. Here, this is a daily chart for Zenith Bank. I'll tell you, this is a very good chart. Yes, pullback is allowed in any market. Like what I said, correction, profit taking, and pullback is part that people are taking profit. And that's the beauty of stock market anywhere in the world. There's the up and down that creates room for people to buy low and sell high. Let's look at the weekly chart of Zenith Bank. Before we now go to the monthly pattern to look at the same thing we did for UCAP. You can see that this stock has trying to resist big support level at this point. Look at this here. This peak of Zenith Bank turned to its support level, even nearly here. See what has made up and down movement here for you, and that is why your candlestick is very key to guide you at different levels. See, but now consider it has making an uptrend as we speak now. If you take a trend line here and draw from this point alone, that this is an uptrend for Zenith Bank. It has not broken down this uptrend. You can see it has not broken down. Once it touches, it almost touches it went up. So up. Once a major correction in Zenith Bank on a weekly chart. You can see it here. This is how to know that whether a stock is trending up or high. But when the trend line is above the price action, say that the stock is trending low. But when the price action is above the trend line, say that this stock is making an uptrend. Let's quickly look at the monthly chart for Zenith Bank. Let's go back to the month of March. When March was Zenith Bank really does February and also the same February and March. That's where the dot normally comes for Zenith Bank. For 2013, you can see that this is the period for February and March. Zenith Bank was up. For the month of April, most time April is the markdown period for Zenith Bank, or late March. You can see it was also down here. Then before the stock kind of struggle around here before it started making an uptrend again. That's for 2013. Because only 5 years is what we use to take a trend. For banking stock, we use just 3 years because of the over-regulation in the sector. You can say you are using 5 years, your 5 years will leave you behind. But if you want to take trend for banking stock, minimum or maximum will use is 3 years as trend to see, because regulation can come tomorrow and change the pattern. That means if you are using 5 years, it won't give you the right picture for 5 years. But for Zenith Bank, I can see that the banks will consider 5 years for trade now to look at, not the way we look at from almost from 2013 today. But from, let's say, from 2017 is what is happening the last year, what happened in Zenith Bank in February and April. Within February and April, that also guide you what we should expect in this period, because the banking sector, because of the variation, you can't say yes, this is it. If you are looking 5 years, better for them, you won't get the full picture for it. You can see that in February here. See, like I said, this February is like the month normally announce the result. If you look at the release date for Zenith Bank, February is what is no time they are doing the result. See, February here is already down. March is down before it start picking up again. This for 2017. Let's come also to 2018 to see the same trend. In February, see that it was up for March. You know what happened March 2018 generally. You can see it here down here again. You know, I continue now. Then you go to 2019 again. Look at the month of February. February was up, while March was down for Zenith Bank. So these are the period for their markdown and their payment. Look at it here. Then from 2020, come here and look at February again was, you know, a red period for Zenith Bank. You can see this was, you know what happened this period when we had the announcement of the entrance of the virus to the nation. You can see what it does to this kind of stuff. Put it down to even when another result that period to as low as around 1070 before a rebound. For 2021, you can see the same pattern also repeat in Zenith Bank. That means you as investor or trader, you know how to trade Zenith Bank within this period of the year. You have seen a pattern like I showed now. See that during this period, you can only see Zenith Bank making what a lower movement before it reverses and uptrend, what you can see now. See that period is when it touched the high of almost 27.50. Before it came down. Now it's not like trying to touch it back again. That means if you have entered Zenith Bank when it comes as low as 19, that around the March, and now you are waiting, but you have made good money in that stock now. For me, this is the pattern for Zenith Bank. But the good is that both on a daily chart, weekly chart, monthly chart, Zenith Bank remain bullish and strong. That tells you that the stock also to watch at this period. Yeah. You know that question? Okay,
Mr. Ambrose. Mr. Ambrose, good afternoon. Well done, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, sir, I want you to look at these two stocks because we bought it when there was a rally. But we don't know our stake there now. Talking about First Bank and Union Bank, what's our stake in that stock now? First Bank and Union Bank, because we bought those stocks when they were rally, but now we don't know what is happening there again. It's like stagnant or something.
Okay, I will start with First Bank. I'll tell you, First Bank, you know, it was a market momentum that moved that stock to that price. It was not a fundamental information that moved that stock to that level. And now that market is feeding on the fundamental test of earnings, the market is waiting to see what will come out from the bank as number. But I believe that because there's a little change in the holding structure of that bank, that's why the price remains a bit stable at that 11 naira. Whenever I touch it, try to bounce back. But if you are there already, the dividend might not be too impressive to move the price either to immediately. But the holding structure and the position of those that are in that company might move it when they announce the number because they want to increase their position. Fine, but not the number because I don't see the bank paying more than 50 kobo. You know, no matter what they have recovered from the so-called recovery they made. But if they pay more than 50 kobo, we instead of selling for almost 11 naira, 10 kobo, selling 50 kobo, we know what market also fit. But if there's an improvement from what they paid last year, around either 34 kobo or to that 50 kobo, there might be little growth, but market will not look at the price then and the price now. That's for First Bank. First Bank is not the earnings that move the price. It's the holding structure I think that will also impact it. And also, people that are joining the bank, you might see that they are bringing an idea of business to the bank that also will impact on their bottom line at the end of the day. But it's for us to see the price. If you have entered around that at 10 naira, I will not advise you should jump out now, unless you see the position that will give you what you're going to lose in that stock, can now go back to that product. If not, you wait to see the result and see how the market will play. Because markets are different dynamics and different factors that drive different stuff at the given time. When the momentum was driving the stock, everybody was looking at First Bank. That was momentum driving. It's not because of the fundamental was moving the price. So just we'll call it momentum technology because so demand and supply and volume was seen that move the price to that level. But for that of Union Bank, we know what happened recently about the acquisition of Union Bank by the TTB, which is also good for the industry, the market. For someone to acquire for almost 98.something% of a company, the totally is the owner of that company. Then we are waiting for information to also come from that acquisition side of it. What they want to do, next step they are taking. Once they communicate it, it will change the face of Union Bank. If Union Bank does so, we are not really there for dividend. But don't forget that in the last 2 to 3 years, they are considering their 25 kobo dividend in Union Bank. For me, it's okay. But wait for that news, but that is why we're not entering for it because of their dividend. But the news will move the price, or even the point that you'll be happy that you are in that position. Just excite them because I know that when they are coming, they might come with a decision or announcement that will change the face of the bank, even their holding structure, put you as retail investor that are there, the minority investor will also benefit from it. Let's just decide patience for Union Bank. And also don't forget that with this new rules that I just mentioned earlier when I was explaining that some companies have decided to that, oh, we're not going to release unaudited. Let's release our audited within 60 days. That will mean that we will spend more audited account in this month of February. Because if you look at the numbers of quoted companies that released their unaudited for the month of January, they are not up to half of what we have on the floor. For me, I see more especially from the big names in the market. We expect them to release the results in this month of February, while those that are released earlier, we expect them in the month of March, before 31st of March to release their number. And these numbers will shape the market. That's why I said we see a lot of oscillation between now and end of the quarter, because people will go up and down. Like I said earlier, that any season is not more of direction or more of volatility because of reaction from market players.
Ambrose.
Yes, sir.
For the Union Bank, there is two fundamental issues.
Okay, sir.
Yes, somebody had acquired 89%. The question that everybody wants to know, at what price? This is very, very fundamental. We are not aware of the price. And we need to know the price. We are not aware of the price. And that is very, very fundamental, because the price will tell you what value Union Bank stands for. Then you compare it where it is in the market, and that will reflect to the entire banking system. Let's assume that Union Bank is bought at 20 naira per share. A share that is trading at 6 naira and now sold at 20 naira, it tells you that most of our shares in the banking sector are grossly undervalued. And that will reflect there. That is one. Two, there is a provision by SEC that when you acquire the majority, you also have to acquire a quantity from the minority shareholders. And therefore, that quantity, because now the rule have changed, before is 5%. And you have to buy it at the same price. But now, you don't need to do 5%, because we see what happened to Ardoba when they acquire more than 75% at 66 naira 25 kobo, they only just buy 500,000 units, which is very, very grossly insignificant. And most of people couldn't exercise that. But even it applied to Union Bank, but I see a change in the Union Bank. Change in the sense that somebody who has 89% may likely buy the rest. Because if you buy the rest, you close the chapter. And now it becomes a limited company. And there is nothing wrong for a bank to become a limited company, because Chartered Bank is a limited company, Citibank is a limited company. Then you can decide to come back to the market or remain as a limited. So if they choose to take away the minorities, the same rate at that, so the holder will really benefit. You know what happened to Dangote Flour? When Dangote was able to sell his holding at 24 naira, the minority were taking up the same rate because they wanted to reduce the company to limited, which they did. And now all the holders really benefited. So because of these two provisions, as an investor in Union Bank, I will advise you hold on. One, you don't know the price. Two, you don't know the intention of the co-investors. Do they intend to remain PLC, or do they intend to delist? So because of these two information that are not available to you, I will advise you to hold into your stock. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah. Other hands that are up, yes, I can see Dotun. Hand is up, and Mr. Bosson. Yes,
hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Sir.
Hand is up. Hello.
Hello, sir. Yeah.
Yes, there's a question on the chat box which you are yet to take.
Okay. On me and Baker.
And it's up. On the chat, yes.
Me and Baker.
No, on UCAP and UBA.
Okay. Okay. Let me quickly go there.
All right. Thank you.
The one that your hands are up, you can go on and ask your question. The one that your hands are up, ask your question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Concerning concerning Presco, sir,
hello, sir. Your daughter is disturbing at the background. Talk to your daughter. We hear the voice of your daughter at the backgroend. It's echoing what you are saying.
I'm sorry, they have left. Concerning Presco, they said minority shareholder will determine whether we are going to acquire the SAT. What am I saying is that is it a signal that this time around they are not going to pay us a good dividend? That is what my question. Does it mean that they are going to use the money they have made to pay those people, and this time around we should not expect dividends at the end of the year? That's my question, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, before I answer this, me and Baker and UCAP and the UBA, let me quickly answer his own question. For me, for them to take 100% for Viat Nigeria, yes, if you look at the Presco performance, especially for 2021, I will tell you it was fantastic. For them to grow their earnings from 5 naira 82 kobo to 18 naira, then they have made money. If they decide to pay you even 5 naira or 7 naira from that 8 naira, they have even retained more than 11 or 10 naira to do the transaction. For me, they want approval from the minority shareholders. Yes, when they give approval, yes, but they can buy with what they have made and also pay you your dividend. Don't be afraid of it, because the sector they are operating, they need a lot of money, and also they need to expand their business so that they can make more money from it. You can see the result of Komu and Presco. It shows that where they are going and how government policy also have assisted them to this level. For me, if you're in Presco or your position, the numbers speak for itself already. That will determine what they pay for you. And also don't forget that they pay you in terms of 1 naira, which is very small for me. Then from 18 naira, 87 kobo, they can afford to pay you even 5 naira or 7 naira with ease. And we the other one to be the acquisition they want to do. Let's just relax and wait for Presco to see the outcome of the whole thing when they announce their audited account. That will give us the position where they are. Then for UCAP, UCAP has taken over UBA in the last few months. What is the outlook for UBA? I will tell you that UBA outlook remains positive because, one, in the current year we are now, let's talk about this year, the new we just passed to the Pan-Africa payment system that was in that UBA is part of the beneficiary for that kind of operation. And also, if the economy is also recovering, banking generally will also benefit from it. And UBA is not operating only in Nigeria. And if you look at UBA bottom line before now, even the African operation contribute about 38 to 42% of the profit of UBA. And that means that UBA first quarter, second quarter, third quarter last year, they are positive. It's already that UBA is going somewhere. UCAP on its own is another business entirely. Yes, their prices are running. Nothing stop it going up. For me, UBA outlook is positive. That is for that one. Then for the next one there, what is happening in me and Baker and Pharmadeco? This industry, you know that there's positive sentiment for this industry, but the number that came from these two companies are not too impressive. For that of me and Baker, it's not in red, it's not in decline, but a flat number. And that is why you see the price try to adjust and remain that level of 4 naira and 4.45, 4.8, just because of the result. I'm telling you, it is the number that want to result of dividend, corporate action, determine where to go from here. I will tell you, between now and that number comes, it might not go below 4 naira. And don't forget that the price is relatively low compared to what we are seeing in fixing, seeing in GSK. Yes, fixing results are supported fixing to get to that as high as 8 naira 26 kobo, which I know it will go higher. But that if there's a rally in fixing, a rally in GSK, me and Baker will be the next one. That means you have to relax. For Pharmadeco has a different nature of its price movement. It doesn't follow what is happening in me and Baker. No. That means you need to extract patient if you are there. But if you can cut loss in Pharmadeco, if you have made loss there, to move for other ones in the market, fine. But the loss in Pharmadeco result has reduced compared to what we saw the previous year, 2020. Tell you that they're also reducing their loss, they're cutting their losses, they're coming out from their wool. For me, it's hard to invest in this kind of company for now. Yeah. Another hand in that is up there. Mr. Dotun, your hand is up. Ask your question. Mr. Dotun, your hand is up. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, Ambrose, maybe before it comes up, if I can just add, between UCAP and UBA, I think one of the things that is also affecting it, if you look at the banks generally, their dividend payout ratio seems to be regulated. I know there was a time either 2 years ago or so when the bank came out to say that banks cannot pay dividend the dividend payout ratio should not be above a particular percent. And so if a bank has a very good EPS, but then they are restricted from paying as much as the payout ratio of UCAP, UCAP will be seen to be rewarding investors more by way of dividend. And then people, if a UCAP, for example, can pay as much as 70 or 80% dividend payout ratio, even though the EPS. Yes. So that alone, that banks, I think this is one contributory factor. If banks were allowed to be paying maybe up to 50%, of their EPS as dividend payout ratio, investors and traders are going to respond to it. So I see that as one other factor that is contributing, to why banks stock, even though they have a very good EPS, their price is still relatively low compared to some other players in the sector who has lower EPS, but their prices are high.
Okay. But also, I think it depends on management. If you look at Zenith Bank consistently, their payout ratio have been between 60 to 52. Their payout ratio depends on the individual. But for UBA, UBA, since they paid kind of cost their dividend in 2020 or 2019, where they paid 17 kobo interim and they called their full year to around 58 or something kobo. That is where market size treating UBA where it is today. But with their third quarter earnings, their first quarter, we are seeing, we'll see an improvement. If that happens, they're able to grow their payout this year for 2021, that will change the face of UBA again. Knowing that this Pan-Africa, the Africa Trade Zone, going to benefit most of the banks are in Africa, then UBA will also be a net beneficiary from that kind of arrangement. The Pan-Africa payment system, the trade zone, UBA, NSS, I see them, and the ETI, EcoBank, benefiting more from that. But I think that is area I that UBA will also be able to meet up in terms of payment. Won't be able to cross their $1 payment to change the face of UBA. That's why I see it. Yeah.
Okay. If it's possible for you to just have your team research, I know what I'm saying, that there was a time CBN says for you to be able to pay a dividend payout ratio of above a particular threshold, other ratios, there must be other ratios and other indices of the bank that you must exceed. If you do not exceed that, for example, all these capital adequacy ratio, liquidity ratio and all that, it is when you have exceeded so that your dividend payout ratio, can be above this. So if it's possible to do a research, on that, because that can also guide, it can give a prediction, for example, supposing all those indices that CBN.
Hello, sir. Go ahead. Hello.
No, I think it is very straightforward. Banking are regulated. Insurance are regulated. UCAP is not regulated. Yeah. If they like, they can just finish their audited account and release their account today.
Indication that above certain threshold, and that can be a useful information too.
Okay, sir. No problem. Alaji, thank you very much. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah.
Hello, can I now that Alaji is here, please, last week or so, I think he mentioned that part of the reason for the rally in First Bank and Airtel was because they have been moved into NGX 30. Normally for these indices, when one stock is added, another one has to be removed.
Yeah.
So may I know please which two stocks now fell out of the index to allow these two stocks to go in?
Okay, I don't know whether Alaji is prepared for that. Now I can look at it later in the next class. I'll provide it for you. It's very easy. For that, my mind didn't go there. I will tell you they were removed in our next meeting. But if Alaji adds it offhand, he can do. But I know Alaji might not prepare to know exactly which ones that were removed. Hello, sir. You any help, sir? Hello.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Well, I will do. Alaji is not reacting again. I will do that for you. I will tell you the one that were removed for them to put ETI and
Ambrose, I don't have the list. It's not only that there is changes in so many indices, but maybe when I go back, I will check what changes appear in all the indices.
Yes.
all the indices, because now with the coming of Boer food, you will see even the food indices will change. And look at it, Ondo was removed from the oil indices, but it was reflected back. And you can see how the oil indices were changing because of changes that is happening on the prices. Yeah. So we need to review all the indices and tell you these are the stock were removed, these were the stock added, or all the indices. Thank you.
Thank you. May I continue then, please? What is your take on the announcement by Owando?
Let Alasa take the question, sir.
Just straightforward. We expect this because since they hold the agent, they did not talk. And the major issue of their controversy have they resolved last year. So today, for me, they have no any reason not to hold that one because we don't know what was the agreement of the regulator. Now they have decided to tell us they are releasing 2019 in the first quarter. What I expected to hear from them, not only 2019, even 2020, because nothing stops you from holding your two agents on the same day. But they choose to do otherwise. What it means, these people are not ready for the rally of the stock because we all know it all. 2019 is not likely going to be better off.
Yeah.
So we wait for the result. The oil sector started doing very well in 2021. And we have seen most of the result of total, we have seen the result of corn oil and all proved right. So therefore, if you are in Ondo, you now watch the rally, either take your profit or hold on until they release 2021. Because even 2022, I don't see it going to be good. And I don't expect them to pay much dividend, if any. But they have told you when they are holding the 2020 and the 2019. So therefore, for you to start expecting the 2021 management account, by their indication, that will be around September this year, 2022, which is not good enough. But this is an information we wait to hear the response of the regulators because they tell us what they want to do. And it's up for the regulators, the exchange, both the stock exchange and tech, they can say, yes, you can do this. They can say, no, you have to do it. So we'll wait for the response of this. In any way, we are going to have CEO meetings with the chief executive of the exchange on 10th, this coming Thursday. Even if nobody raises it, I will take it up to hear what the exchange are doing against this information. So whatever it is in the next discussion, we'll let you know. Because certain things when we see them, we let them, when we go to the CEO meeting, we say, no, we cannot be held for this period. Having spent 4 years without information, why can't the exchange write to them that, go ahead, give us an auditor result of this, and this. And the exchange have the power and they cannot say no. So even if nobody take it, I will take it up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, our time is past spent. Let's let the time wind down so that we can take the stock for the week. Then we'll not call it a day. Look forward to the next meeting on the next Saturday. Yes, any other question before I give the stocks to look at?
We have raised our hands, so our hands are up.
Oh yeah, so come.
Our hands are up.
Oh yeah, ask your question, sir. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ambrose. Well done work.
Thank you, sir.
With regards to Owando, if we have waited for 4 years, I think it will make sense to wait for the remaining 10 months. And my advice is accumulate as much as you can.
Okay.
After 10 months, you will smile. Thank you.
Thank you for that observation. That is good. Yes. Among the hands that are up, I'm calling your name, you are not answering your question. Let's just go to the stock to buy for the week. Then we can now take.
Please, Ambrose.
Yeah.
Can you say something about access and fixing? I will still continue waiting or what are our expectations? Thank you.
Access and fixing. it depends on your investment objective. For those that attended even the master class, for those that attended we are giving a sell alert for those, then it depends. If you want to hold the position, fine, because the earnings will even support the price to go higher. We saw what happened in Vital Foam and UCAP. You can see that this is another one in the healthcare industry. They're fixing. You want to hope, or if you have made profit, I think you should cash out your profit. If you want to wait, there's no cause for alarm. For who's the other one again? Fixing and who's the other one? Sorry.
Access.
No, Access is among the banks that will read the result in February. If you are in Access, wait for the result to come, because Access at a third quarter is already leading industry with their turnover. It tells where the bank is going. And the bank is not being quiet. They are even planning to even become a holding company in the nearest future. That they want to give us number first to see where they are standing. I would love you to see the number before you jump out in Access. Unless you have met your target, which I already tell you that your goal is very important. If you have met your goal, go ahead and sell your assets. But I'm telling you, if you are positioned before the result, wait to see the result. Then when it comes, you can when market react to it, you come out. That is what I would advise. But if you are meet your target, nothing stops you from selling assets and go to another stuff. You are make your. But if you are there to make more profit, still wait for the result. I know that this month of February, we're going to see more results from the big companies that have opt for 60 days after their year end to release the result, because it was a rule that sent to NSE on the 19th of January. That's the reason we're seeing more notification again that we're up to 1, we're up to 2. You see, yes, you can see even NGX also they're going to read the result within this February. That is what, because if they pay to read it, they're going to pay fine. For me, it's a good thing for the market, because this one will make more activities, will give more direction and add more momentum to the market, because if they are coming with their dividend payment, that will attract more people to the market. Yeah. Okay. On that note, we're looking at this following stock for this week, and most of them are for dividend position, because we're expecting most of the results to come this month of February. And that's what I like always teach you, that you must be in stock. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, sir. You must be in the stock 2 weeks before they announce the result. Minimum a week. You don't wait to see the result before you jump in. Especially if you're a trader or investor, you must enter the position before the result comes to the market. Those results are when other starting results are coming in, because you as also as a student that understand how to invest, you don't invest when you are result. You are position ahead of the result. That's why we bring all the data, all the technical analysis, all the sentiment report to guide you to know the result is ahead. What can you do? And that's why this stock we're going to take position is for dividend. One is that is UBA. UBA at the price of 8 naira 55 kobo is grossly cheap. And if results come, UBA pay anything above that will give them 1 naira or above 1 naira. UBA price will also rally to around 9 to 10 naira. That's around 980 or 10 naira. It's a good one for you to enter UBA. UBA is the first class number one stock to buy this product. UBA. The other one again is WAPCO, Lafarge Africa. This is a stock that we are looking at for this week. Lafarge Africa. We'll see you also the news for the stock of Honeywell might come to the market any moment from now. For those that are in Honeywell, just a side patient. The news might come anywhere from now about their acquisition, and that is why the price has not broken down that strong support level of 3 naira 20 kobo or 310. Now I thought they come back again to around 350. For me, if you want to take first position, you can enter stock of Honeywell. Honeywell is good for you to buy this stock. We're taking the WAPCO, Honeywell, and Dangote Sugar for dividend play. So why for Honeywell is for capital appreciation for those that are buying now. For them, if you are there, watch your position and wait. You want to jump in now, it's for capital appreciation for Honeywell. But see that there's kind of volatility in Honeywell. It goes up to 3 naira 80 kobo, come down to this for 310, 380, 320, it go back again. Now it has gone back again to 350. At this range, you can enter Honeywell for short term. So we are taking Dangote, Smith, Honeywell, WAPCO, and UBA for this week for that review. Also, if you are in Fresco, if you are taking profit, good, fine for you. Then wait to enter at this price, because when the result will come finally, if you are holding Zenith Bank, hold your position, Access, hold your position. These are holdable. For stock to say that if you can take some profit, if you are made, I think the number one stock to take profit now is Academic Press. I think that stock, if I look at the numbers, you can take profit from Academic Press so that you pull back again, you can now then enter. You can sell your Academic Press for the week you are entering, take profit from there, and others also that you have made good money can also take profit, because most of us in the market, when I listen to most of the investors, They don't want to buy stock, they don't want to sell. That's why I emphasize on your investment objective. You must set it from before you enter a stock. Before you buy at all, you must know the price you are buying and when you're exiting. Even when the price surpass that price you exit, it doesn't concern you. You have cut your own, you are out of the market. Don't be carried away by the party. Then you not that down until everybody is over. Then the door is back to go out. Always know when to exit your position and when you have made profit. Thank you and God bless you all. Yes, by next week, by God's grace, we'll start our live market by 12 to 12:30 every day. Then we can extend it to 1 hour. We want to do it for 1 week because we don't install what we're going to use for the live class yesterday. Then by Monday, we'll start off with that. Start with 30 minutes live market. Then we can extend it to 1 hour. We are doing Saturday. That one will be for live market and live question. What is happening in the market at that particular time? You can join us from anywhere you are. We start by Monday by God's grace. And also,
hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Don't forget again that we're encouraging us that we should invite more of our friends to this gathering. Whenever they send the link to you, give to your friends and your.
How do we join, sir?
Yeah, we'll send the link. We'll send the link. We'll send the link. We'll send the link. You can share with your friends. Also, can join us. Yeah.
Stock for the week. Did you say Dangote Sugar?
Dangote Sugar, Honeywell, WAPCO, and UBA.
So, Ambrose, what price are you looking at for WAPCO to rally up to?
WAPCO, we're looking at 29.30.
Okay.
That is the price target. Okay, let's somebody pray for us, the house, to round up the.
Hello, Mr. Ambrose. Very sorry, sir.
Go ahead.
Very sorry, sir. I'm just coming in very late, sir.
Oh, you get the replay. You get the replay. Yeah, thank you.
I have one question, sir. Sorry, sir. I have one question. Very sorry, sir.
Okay.
I want to ask a question on there's one new company that was just listed in the exchange. Ronches Construction. I don't know if there's any information about that company.
It should be in the growth index. Yeah, it should be in the growth index, but I don't have information now. I think I will look at it for next meeting. I don't have information on that newly listed company. I think it should be on the growth index. Yeah, unless there's anybody in the house that has information. Yeah, don't have information on it. My mind didn't cross to that. Yeah. Let somebody pray for us to draw the curtain.
Sorry, Mr. Ambrose. Mr. Ambrose, sorry. Before we close, can you please give us your view on NGX stock?
Which one?
NGX.
No, for me, like somebody in US called me for to ask for NGS. I told him two things. The NGS, as long as they are opening NSC door to trade, whether remotely or on the floor, they are making their money every day. Now that you understand the business model behind that stock, yes, the broker that they shared is 6 million units. They've sold and the stock went as low as 19, 18 before passing back. Once they start paying dividend, the price will be sustained. For me, if you're an engineer, don't panic out. If you want to buy, go ahead and buy because we understand their business model. As far as they are company a kind of missing their target or disobeying any rules, they're going to pay penalty, and that is where they make their own money. For me, and also they have a real estate business. For NSC, they have a good business that will support their price. Really, as far as the doors are opening, the people are doing listing, they are doing private placement, they are doing right issue, money from those transactions. Yeah, you and I buying, they are making money. For me, it's a good. Their business model is very clear for you to understand that they have to support their price. Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, let somebody pray for us. Yeah, pick one. As usual, somebody pray for us. A Muslim brother at the beginning. Let a Christian brother or sister round up the class for us. Let us pray in Jesus' name. In the mighty name of Jesus. Father, King of glory, thank you that is exalted, O Lord, in Jesus' name. All our share, O Lord, people the day to come and this look up to glory in Jesus' name. Amen. You guide each one of us, all the participants, as they go back, O Lord, they will make wise investments as they go back. Thank you for that pastor prayer.
Amen.
Thank you all.